This is your friendly neighborhood physics teacher here. And again, I'm sorry you weren't able to make it to class today, but here's a little overview. Don't forget to look at your target, goal, and task, and the links will be there, and you can manipulate and do what you need to do. Remember, it has to be done by 11:59 today, so you get counted present. Don't forget to do the attendance, but we'll go through all that. So today we're going to talk about how to be a lion, how to set up your notebook, and going a little bit over the AP exam. Let's get started. So again, please do the attendance sheet on Schoology. If you go to Schoology, please do the must do before continuing. Please, please, please. And even if you're not in class, you still need to do that so you get counted present. So what does it mean to be a lion? To be a lion, to be is a very successful student, or just a student that tries their best. So a couple of things to make sure we succeed as a lion. It's a couple of things to think about. And I know y'all know about these. I'm sure you're hitting these in Avid and Path, but I just wanted to go over this because AP Physics is considered a college level course. So how to be successful in college. And you are taking college level courses, so you can use this information in your other courses. And its main thing is be responsible and active. I know it's hard, but don't fall behind. Stay ahead. Take responsibility. It's like if you need to get this done, but your friends want to go out, it's okay to be like, I'm sorry, I have homework. But on the same hand, you don't want to sit there and get burnt out and do homework, and not use some me time. So it's trying to find that balance, and it takes a while to find that balance. Set goals, which we will do today, but set your goals. Know what you're trying to do. What's the purpose of this? Why are you in AP Physics? Is it just for the grade, or do you plan on being a science major? Like, why are you there? Please ask questions. Please, 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 please ask questions. We are a team, especially in this virtual world. I don't know if you have questions. I can't look on your face and you have this look of confusion because I can't see you. So please ask questions. Come to tutoring. Email me. Remind. Schoology. There's so many different ways to get a hold of me. Please, please, please ask questions as soon as you're confused. Stay organized. Find a place that you can study. Now, I say quiet place because that's how I need to study. It needs to be quiet. I might be able to, according on what type of mood I am or what I'm doing, I might be able to even have songs in the background. But if you're the type of person that needs background music, use background music. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you study successfully. And that's a hard thing to establish. You need to sit there and figure it out. Again, time management. And this is the big thing that people don't realize. You need to be studying 20 hours a week. They say in college, for every hour you're in your college class, you should be studying outside. That's how many hours you study outside of that class. So it's crazy amount. This is not a easy feat to be getting your high school degree and your college degree at the same time, but y'all can do it. And your high school teachers and most of your professors are there to help. If you ask questions, going back to up. But time management, being organized, setting boundaries can help. So knowing how to study, and that's what we already talked about, the tricks, and there's all kinds of things online, and Avid gives you all kinds of cool things, so you know the best way to study for you. Turn in your assignments. That's the biggest thing, and I said this before. I said this on the first day. I don't think I said in the video, but I said it in class. Pretty much the people that fail my class are the ones that don't turn in their assignment. If you're showing me that you're trying and you're doing well, you will pass my class. But you have to turn in your assignment. And don't turn in a half-done assignment. Put your best. If that means that you need to hold off and do the remastery because you don't have time, come in, ask for help, figure it out, but make sure you do your best in whatever you do. That's what it is to be a lion. Then you have the opposite, what common issues that stop you from doing that. You don't have a goal in mind. You're just wandering aimlessly. Lack of motivation and your mental state does play a big part in that. Poor time management. You'd rather, procrastination. You'd rather go hang out with your friends than do work. Who wouldn't? But if you get your work done early, then you can go hang out with your friends. I would always, in college, I liked morning. I can function in the morning. Some people can't function in the morning. So if you're not a morning person, don't do this. But I'm a morning person. So I would have my classes done by noon. So I'd be from 8 to noon. I'm going to classes. I would eat lunch, take a short little nap, wake up, do my homework. And so I was free for the evenings and I could go and do whatever I wanted to because I sit there and time managed for that. Unable to concept in different situations, teachers and professors usually give you one or two situations for a concept, but to really make sure you understand it, you take that concept and you push it to a different situation. And those are really good questions to ask your professors, really good to ask your teachers and say, hey, what about this? And have that discussion. But you don't want to be completely dependent on your professor or teacher. It's okay to ask questions. You will never hear me complain about asking questions. But if you are asking so many questions that you're not being able to think for yourself, you're still hindering yourself. So it's okay to sit there and be like, I got to figure this out on my own and just use the teacher as clarification. But like I said, ask questions if you're really confused. This will be on Schoology. There's a discussion. Says, please tell me your strengths. As I just said, put your strengths as a student. If you would like to put your weaknesses also, so we can sit there and discuss about it. Setting up your notebook. So you'll hear me call the notebook a chicken duck. It's a silly story. We were calling them interactive notebooks, and students were like cringing. I guess they had a bad experience with interactive notebooks. And I was talking to Ms. Verona. I was like, we need to call it something else. Or like cringing at the name. And Ms. Verona was like, well, if it's a chicken, you call it a chicken. If it's a duck, it's called a duck. I said, fine, we're calling it a chicken duck. And that's kind of how it got started. I don't care if it's paper or online. It's just whatever is best for you. But even if it's paper or online, doesn't matter which one, I still need these few things. I need you to have a title page for me, your name, class period. You would say AP Physics, not pre-AP Physics. Teacher's name, and the year. So have a title page for me. And you can make it look pretty if you want. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to put a SMART goal. I've been talking that you need to set goals, so we're going to set goals together. Or I've already set my goals, and you'll see my goals at least. So I know you've heard about SMART goals and AVID, but we're going to go over them real quick. SMART goal is a specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound goal. So being very specific. Don't just say, I want to go to culinary school. Yay! Okay, that's great. No. Why do you want to go to culinary school? I want to go to culinary school to go mainly for their baking program. It's the more specific you can be, the better. Measurable. You want to be able to know that, yeah, I did it. I got, you're just like, yay, I want to go to culinary school. Okay, well, I want to go to culinary school and be graduated by 2021. Like set a time frame, or I want to be able to evenly dice 5 onions in a minute. Like make it measurable so you know that you've reached your goal. If you make it too broad, you never know you've reached your goal, so you never get that satisfaction. Woo, word hard. Like, yes, I reached my goal. Make it attainable. If you make this crazy goal that's not going to happen, you'll never get that, yes, I finished it. You can't just say, well, I'm going to be like Gordon Ramsay right off the bat. And not saying you can't be like Gordon Ramsay, but that's a huge jump to going from, I haven't even gone to school yet, to I need to be like Gordon Ramsay. So that's make it, and make it relevant. If you're focusing on, cooking, like as through my example, if you're focusing on cooking, you don't need to say, well, I want to learn to be a mechanic. Make it relevant for the goal you're setting. And then time bound, that's what I was saying, being a little bit more specific, seeing, having that, I need to get this done by a month, I need to get this done in a year, I need to get this done in a day, and different thing. And also making it a time frame that you're not going to sit there like freaking out stress. Make it reasonable. It's okay that big goals take a little bit longer. So in the next page over, so you can see I've turned the page on your neck, not the back, but like on the next page, I would like for you to set some SMART goals: a life SMART goal, a school SMART goal, and a physics SMART goal. Just to give you an example, my life SMART goal is make sure I'm doing me time, and I was at least 30 minutes a day. I have a really bad issue that I sit there and focus on school. I need to do this. In my mind, I need it to be perfect, even though I don't know it doesn't need to be perfect. But in my mind, it's like, I'm the teacher. It needs to be perfect. I'm one of those say, do as I say, not as I do type of thing. So I'm forcing myself at least 30 minutes of putting away school, doing something mindless. If that is getting prepared for my D&D group that I play on Thursdays. So Thursdays I do get that 30 minutes, definitely. Or I sit there and play video games. I'm trying to rebeat Kingdom Hearts, or play Pokemon, or Mario, or something, something a little mindless. Or just sit there and watch TV. Just something that I can just zone out on. For school, I want to be at least a week ahead of my lessons. Right now, I'm not. I haven't accomplished that yet. I'm on a probably 2 day ahead, and I'm giving myself until the third week to get that done. So I'm giving, because of this virtual stuff, I'm giving myself some grace. We have to give each other all some grace. But by the third week, I want to be at least a week ahead in my lessons. And then specifically for class, I want to at least do some type of interactive activity, especially with the virtual. I don't want to just sit here and talk at y'all. Now, it's hard doing it when y'all are not in class. It's hard to make it interactive. I'm trying to think of ways to do that, but that's my in class. And then we'll do a self-check about every 9 weeks. So after every report card, we'll do a self-check and see how you're doing, or do we need to modify it? Next thing, we're going to do a safety tab. You are in science. We need to talk about safety. Yes, we're not necessarily doing the labs right now, but when we come back, hopefully we'll be able to figure out to do a version of a lab. Now, the lab rules, if you have a printer at home, I would suggest print them, gluing them, taping down in the spot. If not, they're only 15. You can write them down. I wrote them down. I did make like a little sticky note and make a safety tab. So if I ever need to get to the safety rules, I can get those pretty fast. And you can tell, like, with me writing, and I have a pretty, not giant, but medium-sized handwriting. It took me about a page and a half. And you have your list of rules right here. These are on Schoology. You go to Schoology, you go to class information, and go to your chicken duck folder. Your class rules are right there. And those will be the other stuff we're about to talk about. Except for that, we don't need that. I'll just go ahead and delete that. That's not needed. So your formula tab, this is where I would suggest putting your formula chart. Your formula chart is 2 pages. So there's a way, if you print it off and you do front and back, way to make like a little tab so you can flip it over. But I would make this accessible because this is the formula chart you will be using on the test. It has every formula that we're going to be going over, and I would maybe leave some couple pages. And so if you need, it tells you what the variables mean, but if you need to add units or anything, you can add that stuff to maybe the page behind it, add some notes and different things. Yes. Now, prefixes. You won't be doing very much conversions in AP, but you'll be doing a little bit of conversions. So this doesn't necessarily make sense to you. I'm adding this to the mix. Now, it goes over a little bit more Then this one only, okay, Terra Giga, Pico. I think this one, I thought this one had more. Yeah, I had one more. I had Finto. So it goes a little bit lower than the one on your um, formula chart. This kind of helps you so you can see what's going on and what it is. So I would like for you to add that. Again, this is something you can print off and glue down or just write it. There's not that much writing. I would suggest to print this off though. That would be a lot of writing. A lot of writing. Print that off if you can. Again, there on Schoology, there's what science topics interest you. Should be right there. There's the strength, science topics interest you. Physics, you can relate to anything. So if there's something that interests you, I'll do my best to relate it into the lesson when I can. So you have your interest in the class. Now, let's talk about the AP Physics test. So about the course in general. So skills you'll learn to make connections, work with explanations and experiments, explanations, theories, problem solving, questioning, hypothesizing, and modeling and relationships and representations. So that's like the big things we're going to be focusing on. This is the thing you really want to hear. It's about the exam. So your exam date is May 5th, 2021. As of right now, they're not saying they're doing anything special like they did last year. So as of right now, there's a multiple choice section, just 50 questions. You'll have an hour and 30 minutes to do it. It's 50% of your goal. And there are different types of questions. So there's single questions, so there's one answer. And there are multiple set that you have to pick two, but there's only 5 of those. And there's different, again, going over those concepts we talked before, just overall. So using mathematical solutions. Now it says mathematical solutions. That doesn't mean just plugging in numbers. That usually means manipulating the formula. Dealing with relationships, designing experiments, analyzing data, working through theories, and making connections. Your free response, and so after you do that hour and 30 minutes, you'll take a break, and then you'll come in and do another video. I'm doing another video. Do another test, and you'll have 5 free responses. And again, you'll have an hour and 30 minutes to do that, and again, this is 50%, so it's even 50-50. One question, you will have an experimental design. You'll have to sit there and design a lab. One question will either be a qualitative or quantitative. So you're either, like, quantitative is you're dealing with equations, manipulations. Qualitative is you're dealing with words, you're doing explanations. But it's not essay form, so you can sit there and, like, do bullets. And you'll have 3 short answers. And so 2 short answers, just paragraphs. One of the short answers will require, like, you kind of argumenting. Like you're not necessarily arguing, but you're standing up for what you believe in physics in general. And again, you're heading over those main concepts. And this is just what I just went over. So the main concepts, again, modeling. So the biggest part is modeling. We'll be doing lots of pictures, examples, what happens when this happens, stuff like that. The next 2 is mathematical routines. So they want to see if you can manipulate formulas. And if you can sit there and explain what's going on, like give examples. The next part, kind of the same, but a little bit, is dealing with experiments and then just data analyzing that data from the experiments. I have this on here twice. That's from the free response section. So multiple choice, again, same thing. It seems to be the same modeling, percentages, just a little less of the experimental. this just goes over a little bit more in depth, not even in depth, about the free response questions. These are the subjects that we'll be going over. We're actually going to start with energy because energy relates to everything, and it's one of the main, like the biggest chunk that we go over. And so we'll start with energy, then we'll go to 1D motion, and then 2D motion, which is our kinematics. We'll go to forces. We will then those kind of go together, but we'll talk about circular motion, gravity. It's a very small part, but they kind of go hand in hand there. We'll jump over to momentum, simple harmonics, which is like waves, torque and rotation, which is just a rotating version of kinematics, and then electricity is another very small part. It's only 4 to 6%. And that's just a good thing because that's at the very end where you're usually like, gotta finish. And that's kind of like how the course is going to be laid out. And then you do have this open-ended question on Schoology as well. You do, what would you like your teacher to know about you? So that's it. Again, I'm sorry you weren't able to make class today, but if you have any questions, please go message me through Remind, Schoology, or email, and I will get back to you. Hopefully you have a wonderful day. Remember, you're loved and appreciated. Bye!